I think with the right amount of people seeing this, he could get to 500,000. I think he could get there.
I think so too.
We're doing.
That's what I'm hoping. And you know what I say to it?
Yeah.
What?
Godspeed.
Godspeed. Hey.
That's what I say.
Godspeed, Olan. Once again, another flagship episode. Happy Monday.
We're going to get the laughs in. We're going to have a good time.
You guys are going to give me more gray hairs.
Just go with the flow.
Go with the flow.
Dude, I can't take it. Welcome back to the... You son of a gun. Welcome back to the Wacky Wonderful Wiseworks podcast. All of you guys, gals, geeks, and goofballs. We're here. And we're back.
Especially the goofballs.
A specific shout out to the goofballs?
Okay. I made the new tier on Patreon called Drink Milk Fast.
Ooh.
Just... The first tier is still good little Italians, and I don't feel like it should remain that, but that's the small tier, and it's little.
It's 1%.
1%. And then we got Drink Milk Fast, and then we have Geeks and Goofballs, and then we have the Wacky Wonderful Bunch as the $25.
Okay.
All right.
Are we talking about this as the first thing? This was part of it, right? This is
it. It wasn't. Nah, not really. I just wanted to bring it up because I hadn't told you guys, and I thought the podcast might be a good time to tell you.
I mean, we should talk about it a little bit because
Patreon.
Patreon, but we added a different tier because we decided we wanted to make it a little bit more affordable for people. We got the $4, we got the $7, we got $10. We still have the $25 tier, but that's just to, support us. And
technically, down the road, only the people that support the $25 tier will have their name in the credits on the podcast.
Yeah.
Only those people. Right now, because we only have a couple, it's everybody.
Yeah.
You can just be a patron. But just forewarn, at some point, you'll still get the shout out, but you won't get the name in the credits down the road.
I think also eventually we'll probably do like a more expensive tier, and then we'll put additional content on the $25 tier.
Right now, the golden area for the tiers, if I'm going to say the golden area, is $10.
Yeah.
All right? Because you literally get everything. You get early access to both podcasts a week, both video and audio. You get the pre-show with under the $10 tier. And you get the video version of the Midnight Special, which is under the $7 and $10 tier, right? Yep. So if you do the $10 tier, you are golden.
And honestly, that's what I've seen from a lot of Patreon people who are on Patreon is they do like $10, they get everything.
Yeah.
And then they'll have other tiers higher up for credits, for, other stuff.
Absolutely.
I mean, wink, wink. You might get little cups, special pictures on the $25 tier.
a few
photos.
Josh,
so go support that. You might get a special.
Wyatt dresses up in Joshua's clothes and takes pictures of himself for the $25 tier.
I do it in secret.
But listen, for real though, when it comes to Patreon, we talk about Patreon a lot every single episode, and it's just because it's the main way we are having direct support from you guys. If you like the podcast, if you enjoy it, or even if you moderately enjoy it, but you want to invest in what we're doing right now so we can scale, the best way to be a part and for us to be connected with who our audience actually is Patreon. And it's going to be that way unless we come up with a similar version of Patreon way down the road. Patreon is the place to be. You get everything early, and so when we talk about trending things, they're actually still trending when you watch it on Patreon and not when it comes out on YouTube.
And also, now that we've been doing Patreon for a couple months now, we do have a catalog of things on there that's exclusively Patreon.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not just one video. You could sit there, you could subscribe to the $10 tier and get
everything.
You could watch probably, how many hours of pre-shows do you think we have on there right now? You think we got 4 or 5 hours? No, probably not that many.
No, we got more than 4 or 5 hours.
You think so?
Yeah.
Worth of content or just pre-shows?
Worth of pre-show content, which is exclusive to the $10 tier.
Yeah.
4 or 5 hours of not seen, very personal
mini podcast content.
That is very personal. We talk about
when me and Joshua fight. We talk about that.
We talk about relationships. We talk about feelings. We talk about nose candy. No, we didn't. We don't.
Speaking of like personal stuff, I would like to let everybody know my summer allergies have kicked in.
No, you can't tell.
And so if you guys notice that I sit here and make dad noises throughout the podcast, just like the
Well, the thing is, Wyatt's
Dad.
Yeah, I hear you. Wyatt's a professional podcaster. So what Wyatt does is when he gets in place and he's at the microphone, he don't move. He grabs the side of the microphone and he doesn't move. You know what I'm saying? He just grabs it, holds there, and it doesn't matter if he's got to clear his throat. He's going to give us a right there. That's why Joe Rogan's like, He in his new fancy studio, he installed a cough button so that the audience literally has a and then let go of the button.
Well, let's move into our first thing.
So let me interrupt the podcast for just one moment. We have a Patreon, and we do all kinds of cool stuff, including early content for like this podcast a week early. We also have the Midnight Special a week early, so if that's something that you're interested in seeing, some exclusive content like movie commentaries, pre-shows that we do each week for the podcast, go check out the Patreon. The link is in the description. We would greatly appreciate it. Let me stop taking up all your time. Let's get back to the conversation. We want to talk a little bit about one of our favorite creators, Olan Rogers.
Yeah.
Specifically about his new campaign, raising funds for the new series Godspeed. Which is a play.
Is that's the...
This is taken off of his Kickstarter.
That's the series? I thought that just the Godspeed was the Kickstarter.
I think the series is I think the series is called Godspeed.
Okay.
I think the series is called Godspeed. And Godspeed is like a well wish, right?
Yep.
And it's
also
similar to
Godspeed.
Godspeed.
Yep.
Godspeed.
Are we gonna watch the video?
Well, we can't watch the whole thing.
Okay.
I will say this. I wanted to go over to this, where he's doing his Kickstarter for this. And as of right now, let me refresh this page, okay?
It just refreshed.
Well, I'm refreshing it again.
Okay.
So I saw this morning.
Mm-hmm.
It's June 15th.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know how long this has been up. It's got
Since
18 days
this
left.
morning, right?
It's got 18 days left.
Or yesterday at least.
No. It was this morning. It was like 10 this morning.
Yeah.
And I saw it. I went on here. This read 40,000 when I went on. Okay. It now is it's $4,000 away from $200,000.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big deal.
Yeah, it is.
That's a huge deal. And the cool thing about, we can play some of this video. I actually want to kind of play what we watched before we got started. Is that cool?
Yeah, yes.
It's just kind of... Sorry, actually, let's get him introducing this.
2021. The last episode of my show, Final Space, aired on Adult Swim here in the United States.
Which I haven't seen, by the way. I haven't finished it.
Oh, you haven't?
Warner Brothers canceled the show because of a corporate merger. Fun. That was good. Thanks. I spent the last year trying to find a way to finish it. I've emailed, I've called, I've networked every possible person that I know. I've taken every path, bike path, avenue, road that I know that exists. I've waited and I've waited and I've waited. I even built a Kickstarter campaign for the ending of Final Space that's just sitting there. And legally, I can't touch it. I can't touch it. I don't own it. When you sell a show, they own it, okay? So legally, I can't touch this thing. But sometimes, to get to your destination, you gotta take a detour. And this is my detour. The only thing left I can think to do is to make something original. Something so awesome. Something that is mind-meltingly incredible. something that basically not only opens a door, it kicks it down, right? It kicks the whole door down and opens up a whole new conversation about this thing, okay? It's actually how I got Final Space to be a show in the first place. I just made a short. 2016, I made this short. So I'm taking all my ideas, all these unused ideas that I was going to use for Final Space, and I'm going to make a completely original animated sci-fi epic short, okay? Maybe then they'll peek their eyes over and say, wait, what's going on over here? Maybe that's what it takes. Now you're probably thinking, Godspeed, why? Why this? Why this name? Godspeed is an expression of good wishes to a person starting a journey. It also reminds me of somebody I know.
All right, that's all we're gonna watch.
A little laugh.
So there's an introduction to Godspeed.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of details on this Kickstarter about what his ideas are based on money amounts, how much if you like pledge a certain amount or you like, I don't know if it's giving over and above the pledge, you get certain things like I think it's all of, well, this is basically what he wants to do, right? So if he made $80,000, he's going to do 6 episodes, okay? If he's going to make $100,000, he would hit a goal or whatever. I guess all these are goal hits. 9 episodes, all right? $120,000. 9 episodes and a good soundtrack.
Yeah.
$180,000, 9 episodes, and a longer soundtrack.
This goal has been hit
This
as well.
we're already over this goal.
Right.
180,000. Maybe not with taxes.
Yeah.
But we'll probably get there. If he makes it to 250,000, 9-part animated series, it just is lots more animation.
So, yeah, longer soundtrack,
lots more animation.
more animation.
So kind of like where you talk about an anime where they say save frames.
Right.
Be similar
He's
concept.
getting more
frames essentially,
500,000. This is a 21-minute episode.
Yeah.
Per animation per episode.
Yes.
Which would be incredible.
Yeah.
Like this is really, there's 18 days left at this point.
Mm-hmm.
By the time this comes out,
There'll probably be like a week left.
We could, yeah.
Yeah.
Less than a week.
I think I think with the right amount of people seeing this, he could get to 500,000. I think he could get there.
I think so too.
We're doing.
That's what I'm hoping. And you know what I say to it?
Yeah.
What?
Godspeed.
Hey.
That's what I say.
Godspeed, Olan.
Yeah.
I'm wearing my Olan
it.
hat.
Yeah.
He's doing it.
It is crazy. We were talking about this before we started recording, that it is crazy that he's already made it. He made this goal within 2 hours, and he's gotten over and above that. But to have like an actual good show, he needs the 500,000, to be honest.
Right.
But it's crazy that he didn't think he had this much support, and he didn't have people that would support him to the point where, do you think it would have been best for him to just not go with Adult Swim originally? I know we can't change it now, and do something like this from the beginning and actually get funding for...
I don't know, because here's the thing. I think he had a good idea of taking it to somebody and selling the idea. The issue wasn't with the show necessarily. It was with the merger.
Yeah.
Right? And so there's not anything that he can do about that.
No,
but
absolutely
the fact that the show was a reality, the fact that
for
it
3
happened
seasons,
for
it was
3
a reality.
seasons, and that
Season 4,
it's on HBO.
Yeah, you can watch.
You
it
can
today,
go watch all 3 seasons on HBO,
which is a big deal.
Yeah.
Someone who started at Balloon Shop, a YouTube channel that got no views.
Yeah,
Balloon Shop. And then he started Olan Rogers, told some funny stories like Ghost in the Stalls. And now he's produced 3 seasons of a hit
he got
show.
it on TBS.
Yeah.
Because Conan O'Brien liked it.
Yes, because he's a
liked
smart
him.
man.
And then obviously Conan's not doing his show anymore.
Nope.
So I imagine that probably started
The downfall. Of not just his show, but probably a handful of shows.
So it was on TBS, then it was on Adult Swim, and now it's not anywhere. I don't know that he would have. I think because people have seen what he can do.
Mm-hmm.
I think that lends more strength to this Kickstarter. I don't know that him just being like, I want to start a Kickstarter for this show.
Yeah,
I don't know that it would have gotten 196,000 a day.
What would there's this many people that are like giving him money and all this stuff. You know what would be good if some streaming service, doesn't have to be like a big one, Peacock maybe.
Not Peacock. Don't do Peacock.
Well,
Netflix. Netflix is the one that always
is gonna be
pays for the underdog.
I don't know. Netflix
when it comes to comedians,
some underdog, yes, but
when it comes to comedians, they always pay to the underdog.
Specifically, go for this because it's already something that is out and has.
Well,
been
they've
out
done
for
this
several
before.
seasons.
They bought Cobra Kai off of
They
YouTube.
have.
And there's a new Chris DiStefano who's a comedian. He literally put his self-filmed comedy special up on YouTube, and at the end he said, F HBO, F Netflix, but Netflix, if you want to buy it, hit me up. And they bought it after he just said F them.
Netflix needs to buy the show, put the 3 seasons up, and then fund the 4th season.
Because, I mean,
the final
that would be cool. The issue is that Netflix has canceled a lot of animations this year. So
because
a lot
of their
of
loss in subscribers.
Because of their loss in subscribers. I don't know that they would be willing to. I mean, they might, since the show already has 3 seasons. It's an established show.
Yeah,
I would be willing to buy the show and do a final season. If I was Netflix, that's the smartest.
I would go all out.
They already are showing that
I would triple the budget.
However much he does on this
season?
GoFundMe, they could make that just by buying the show.
Yeah.
Okay, so listen. If he's saying he wants to kick down the door, and 500,000 is his ultimate goal of kicking in the door to get people's attention,
Let's get him $1 million.
Let's get him over 500,000.
Oh yeah.
Let's get him to $1 million.
Let's all together just kick in this door for Olan and be like, "Go, Olan, get in there." You know what I mean?
I think he could do it. I don't know. I don't know what his goal after this show is. If the show is just to get eyes on what he can do.
Yeah.
But I think he can. I like where his mind is at with this. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I would like Netflix to pick it up.
That would be awesome.
Because they did when they picked up Cobra Kai. They pushed Cobra Kai.
Yes.
It was on YouTube. It was on Facebook. It was on Instagram. All the pre-seasons. They pushed Cobra Kai hard for the new season that was releasing on Netflix. So I think they could do that with this.
The thing about Olan Rogers is there's not... So we did an average of how many people have backed this today. So 1,300 people, almost $200,000. That's around $150 a person.
Yeah.
On average.
On
now,
average.
I know some people are going to donate 10 and some people are donating 500. I get that. I'm just saying, Olan Rogers, unlike a lot of people, have an extremely loyal following.
Yeah.
And there's the general rule. To be a full-time artist or to be a full-time creator, to be a full-time anything, all you need is 1,000 loyal customers or 1,000 loyal followers.
Yeah.
Olan has more than 1,000 and they're all loyal.
There's only 1,000 plus backers on here.
Yeah, 1,300.
Which is I saw I was like, dude, almost 200,000. Then I saw only 1,000 backers. That's incredible.
His YouTube video right now, if you watch this video on YouTube, only has 14,000 views. Compare that to any other big YouTuber.
But honestly, I would imagine that he has fans from I would imagine he has Final Space fans.
Yeah.
As well. Like people who didn't watch him on YouTube, people who found Final Space and followed the Instagram, the Final Space Instagram, followed him on Instagram. And they really like the show.
Absolutely.
And those kind of people who are dedicated to a show, really want to see more of the show.
I think so too. But I think that Netflix buying the show is a real possibility. I don't think Adult Swim's gonna do anything with it, even though they already own it. I think it is gonna take someone like Netflix to be like potential, and like everybody loves like a come up story. Olan has a great come up story. He always falls on his face, trying everything he can. He finally gets something. And then after hard work and years of investment, it still falls on his face.
Well, I mean,
people love a story like his.
The Netflix had a chance to buy Final Space
When he was initially
pitching it, there was like bidding wars. Netflix was there. They bid on it as well.
He believed in Conan.
But he believed in Conan, and then
Conan retired.
or TBS bid higher, or something.
I mean, knowing Olan, I think he probably had a better relationship with Conan,
right,
than some executive at Netflix.
But and
he trusted him more.
I don't know that it would have done well on Netflix at that time. At this point, I think it would do great on Netflix.
It would do
They would get it. They would get it for much less, probably, than the original asking price, and it would do great on Netflix at this point.
I mean, what is Adult Swim going to do with it?
Nothing. That's what he's literally saying. He's saying they own it and they're just doing nothing.
It's going to sit somewhere.
It's just going to sit. And the story, the concept,
and if
the title, Final Space Season 4, is just going to sit in a shelf and nothing's going to happen to it.
And if something was done with it, it would be somebody later picking it up and being like, why aren't we doing anything with this? Let's do something. And then it's whatever they want it to be.
Yeah.
Probably not even.
They'll screw it up because they might not even include Olan. It'll be like directed by Shaquia.
Oh no, because
Martin. Pronouns he, she, it.
Why Shaquia? Why is that the name that came to your head?
I don't know.
I mean, if they changed Gary's voice from Olan,
that'd be weird.
That would be worse than Wheel of Time, the Lord of the Rings show that's going to be coming out. That would break the internet.
I don't know that it would break the internet. I think the worst thing, I mean, the voice switch would be bad, but the worst thing would be somebody taking an idea that's not theirs and then being like, and then making money with it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And being like, let's revitalize this show because I'm new here and I need something to work on.
Absolutely.
And I'm not creative enough.
Yeah.
Here's something.
Look, I got to say this. All or Nothing.
I thought it said 8 a.m. is when they started this. And I was like, oh, no.
No, that's the end.
If this goal reaches July 4th. Yeah. So he's already reached his goal. I would say if you're watching this, you're a fan of Olan, which if you're watching this and you don't already watch our content, you most likely are a fan of Olan Rogers because that's why you clicked on the video.
Yeah.
Please give something. We're going to give something. Give something because also you have to think about this. Kickstarter, with the screwed up U.S. government, they're still going to take a big chunk of this money.
Oh, yeah.
All right? So if you want to see him reach a $500,000 goal, we have to get him to at least $90,000. You know what I mean? Because they're going to take, because this is all donations, they're going to take 40%. The U.S. government's going to take so much of this.
Kickstarter's going to take a cut.
The U.S. government's going to
take a cut.
And then he has to build with what's ever left.
Right.
So please give something so that we can reach his even just highest but baseline goal, of $500,000. So he can make a huge comeback with Godspeed, and maybe we can see the final season of Final Space. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He is the Tennessee Wonder Child.
He
is the comeback kid.
He
is the comeback kid.
He's already kind of coming back, man.
Yeah.
I was waiting for you to say it. I'm like, he's gonna say it.
I wasn't.
I was like, he's the comeback kid.
I'm glad you picked it up, man. So Godspeed,
little Big O.
And if you don't know who Olan Rogers is, go check him out on YouTube, man. He's got some great, funny, and awesome sci-fi content. He literally did himself in like a small apartment half naked in his bedroom, like designing all of these graphics and effects for his sci-fi.
His early stuff, honestly, is not great, but it's got so much heart.
Yeah, he'll make
it's got so much passion in it.
Yeah,
I remember watching something. I don't know. It was one of his sci-fi series that he was doing, and it was cheesy and it was dumb, but there was a part which had so much heart in it. I was like, yo, this is unbelievable.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
Yeah.
Gosh, I still think about it sometimes.
This makes me just giggle. I freaking love Olan Rogers, man. I think about his stuff all the time.
We watched his stuff when we were like
kids,
12 years old.
So you introduced me to Olan Rogers,
and
you showed me
in the 25s now.
I think you showed me Ghost in the Stalls. It was freshly made.
Okay,
Ghost in the Stalls. I think it was 2012 or 2013 when Ghost in the Stalls was created. That you introduced it to me.
I was introduced to it on a via the Lion's Blaze.
Yeah.
Right? You know, where they're doing
yeah.
you know, that kind of stuff. Bear pelts.
I've seen every video of Olan Rogers on his YouTube channel multiple times. They're always worth a watch.
Yeah.
You will fall into a deep dark hole if you enter his YouTube channel, but you will be so happy you did. And I guess since we're already plugging everything else, check out his merch store, Star Cadet. They do an awesome. I'm wearing one of his older hats. They don't sell this one anymore. I got this back in 2019. 2020. No, 2018.
I was in the elevator at work, and I saw somebody wearing a Battle Bear shirt. I was like,
sick.
What? I was like, yo, is that a Battle Bear? And he's like, heck yeah.
Heck yeah,
like,
dude.
Sick.
It's like Olan forever, dog.
Yeah, that's right. And then he walked away, and I was like, for sure, because there's the Olan Rogers signature.
He's got videos from 12 years ago, but his stories, what we know him for, is about 11 years ago is when he started.
What year? Click on one and see what's the date.
What's the earliest story?
Oh, it's really
so 2010.
2010.
Wow.
One of the earliest stories.
What story is it?
He's got movie barriers. That's, I don't know if you know that.
I remember that one.
Listen, just go watch YouTube, some Olan Rogers YouTube.
Yeah.
Snack Thief.
Oh yeah, Snack Thief's a classic.
In 2011.
So many good ones.
But
we gotta move on.
We gotta move on. But before we move on, really quick,
Godspeed.
Thank you, Karina, for being a Patreon supporter. We just talked about a big Kickstarter with Olan, and let me tell you, we don't need those kind of numbers. I don't think we deserve those kind of numbers.
Not yet.
We don't deserve those numbers.
I mean, we put in the time.
We put in the time, but we don't put in
the passion, the heart. The gumption.
The gumption. I think we need to learn how to manage like $5,000 a month before we learn how to manage $200,000 a month. You know what I'm saying?
I would agree.
So, thank you, Karina, for being a Patreon supporter. We love you. If you too want to be a Patreon supporter, as we said at the beginning of this episode, go to the link in the description. Select a tier that best fits your content needs, and we'll love you for it. There are benefits to all of the tiers there. Thank you, Karina. All right, fellas.
Are we getting into it, or
we're getting into thick of it?
Thick. Wow. We was going first. All right.
So after this, you saw in the description, we're doing a Fantastic Beasts movie review.
Yeah.
But we are doing it after this. Okay.
We're doing it after this.
We can skip it and do this after that. But people will stick around for the movie review, maybe more than this.
Yeah, I guess.
All right.
More than this.
Yeah.
So we designed movie posters. This is the summer of animation appreciation.
Right.
And appreciation?
And appreciation.
No. I was stretching there.
All you Annas out there.
Appreciation.
Look, so we designed 3 posters, each of us. And
we didn't each design 3.
I
we each designed 1. There's 3 of them here.
I did 2.
We're going to kind of compete. We're going to see who gets the biggest reaction, who gets the most
the biggest applause.
The biggest applause out of the 3 of us. And if we can't come to a conclusion, we will put it up on social media.
We're going to put it up on social media regardless.
You guys, I think so, both of you.
I saw the
I haven't looked
I saw
deeply
the
at
map
yours.
one.
So
I haven't seen that.
none of us have seen any of the other person's
We've all done
poster.
a really good job of keeping this a
keeping
secret.
it very secretive.
You were asking me
secret.
which one I liked more, and I was like, I don't want to look. Like, I was literally looking at the
safe.
outside. I was looking at the
secret.
border. The only thing I saw really on yours was that the colors are a little muted, and
That's what's
the dimensions. Like, you have yours is more poster size. Me and Wyatt's are phone poster size. So we get the full screen phone sideways look, the Instagram, the real look.
Yeah.
Mine's on the first.
I'll do mine differently in the future.
Well, I had a problem posting on Instagram last time because
If you're a creator online, you do freelance videography or any kind of contractual creative work, and you need music that's copyright free, that's not going to get you in trouble with YouTube copyright search bots and all of the algorithms trying to find all the infringements you try to pass, go no further. We use Soundstripe here at Wiseworks, and it has not steered us wrong in any account. It's actually really fun to go through and look at all of the different categories, all of the different genres, all of the different vibes of the music, and select which one's gonna be the best and most creative choice for that specific body of work or that specific project you're working on. And if you use the link in the description, that's our link, and at checkout, use WiseWorks10, that's promo code WiseWorks10, you will get 10% discount off on your first purchase. So we really appreciate using our link in the description if this is something you are interested in getting a subscription to for your content. Let's get back to the episode. So in the past, we've written synopsises for our posters that have gone head to head. I have written my synopsis like 3 times, and I don't like any of them.
yeah.
Okay,
Who's first?
mine.
Okay.
Okay. So that's what
I don't like any of them. Okay, so I'm gonna just verbally explain without any flowery language, without any. If you have questions about it, you can ask me.
Okay.
All right. So here's what it is.
Oh,
It's called Banner.
very cool.
This is I've already rotoscope animation. So
Right.
the actors are real, and then frame by frame, an artist designs them according to the movement, and everything else is animated. Landscapes, effects. Basically, the concept is there's these 2 characters. There's this continent that is always shaded by dark clouds.
Okay.
The top of the mountains are always snowy, but like an icy snowy. It's slippery. It's crunchy. The bottom, the earth is always muddy. There's rain constantly, rain and snow. And it came about by this kind of orcish creatures coming up from inside the earth. And then they battle them for 3 years, almost 4 years of battling these people who are trying to take over the cities of these men, which I think I labeled them I kind of, in my description, I called them the Krens. Don't know why. I just say words, and that's their names. The Krens. That's the name of the people.
The crayons.
That one's clearly Robert Pattinson.
But listen, there's there's cities and
that's the guy from
women
Prince Caspian.
and children, and no, they're not.
Oh, okay.
These are
I'm approximating, and and the guys who would play these characters are
Maybe.
Robert Pattinson, the guy from Prince Caspian.
maybe these are actually hand drawn characters that I did work to.
You drew these characters?
No, I stole and then I did work to. Okay.
Yeah.
I stole and worked out.
Yeah.
All right. So one of these men is assigned by a commander because there's a huge horde that is coming towards. So there's this huge mountain. They're on the other side, and there's a battle on the other side in the valley. So there's 2 valleys. They are on one side in the encampment. Commander is told by scouts that there's a huge horde coming to destroy the army on the other side of the mountain. They have to send people over the mountain, not around, takes too long, over the mountain to tell the men that are battling in the other valley across the mountain to retreat so that they can save lives. They're tasked with 2 people to run and do this job in 3 days. To get over the mountain, all right? And to wave the banner of retreat.
Oh, nice.
And that's the story.
Okay.
These 2 gentlemen. survival. There are like saber-toothed tigers in the mountains. There are harsh environments, and there are scouts from the enemy all through the mountains. We have a distant mountains,
I like it.
clouded skies, battlefields.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going for. And I just threw a skull in there because screw it.
Cool.
I love skulls. And I have this is the enemy's sword, and these are the Kren's sword typically. So the enemy's sword is a little bit more orcish.
more fantasy-ish.
Fantasy-ish, yeah.
So right off the bat, I was thinking.
Say it.
It just left my brain.
Right off the bat, you were thinking what?
No, Tom Hardy. Tom Hardy, he's
I don't know.
desert.
Mad Max.
Mad Max.
You were thinking Mad Max.
Thinking Mad Max.
A little bit of Mad Max, a little bit of the Eagle.
A little bit of the Eagle, yeah.
A little bit of those two.
Yeah, with Channing
merge
Tatum?
them. Yeah.
Heck yeah.
It's a terrible movie.
It
I
is.
love them.
It's a bad
They just
movie.
run for days. How do you have that kind of endurance?
No,
They eat raw rats.
That's not the bad. The bad part of the movie is the dialogue. It's bad.
I watched it years ago. I wasn't paying attention to the dialogue.
I like it. I think this is really solid.
Are you fully bought in? To
I'm
the
bought
banner?
into the idea, to the banner. I would have to. I feel like the rotoscoping idea.
Yeah.
I like that animation style.
It's
It's
cool.
interesting.
It is interesting.
It's a lot of cool animation mixed with actual actor
You'd have to
talent.
hook me in the first episode, or is this a movie?
This is a movie.
I went
You'd
TV
have
show.
to hook me in like the first
10 minutes. Yeah. yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to hook.
It'd be sick. It would
you'd have to
definitely
hook me
start
up.
with sick battle. Sick battle.
See, I would
shots.
call this movie a Sunday afternoon. Me and Wyatt pop it on. We're like for the first 10 minutes, and then 10 minutes in, we're like, this is boring. And then Wyatt puts an earphone in,
and he finishes it.
No, and he puts an earphone in and watches a live stream of like Djibouti as he's kind of watching from the corner of his eye. And I'm like, and 20 minutes in, and I'm like, put my AirPods in.
Yeah.
And then I watch
And then we
something
we do,
while we're kind of watching, but not really.
Yeah.
That's what I would call this.
Okay. So it's a passive action fantasy drama.
Yeah.
I don't know that
Survival story.
I would probably turn it on and watch the whole thing through. Depending on the reviews that were already out there.
You go heavy off reviews. I'd never.
I
look at
really do.
reviews.
Like I don't rely a ton on Rotten Tomatoes. I use them sort of as a loose gauge. I'll go up more off the audience score from Rotten Tomatoes and IMDb, and I look at a couple different things because I think Rotten Tomatoes is more or less biased.
Yeah. Maybe. Okay, I'll say this.
No, like Wonder Woman is way too high on the Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah. I'll tell you this. Okay. I told you I was going hard, and this is my morning today.
Yeah.
So, how hard did you think I went? Too hard? Good hard?
It's good.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It's good.
It's good, but to be honest, so if I was gonna rate this just by seeing your poster and what you explained, I would give it a 6 for this reason. This seems like a great live action movie. I don't see this as an animation.
Ooh. Okay.
See, I love this banner. If I saw this banner if I saw this,
I was wondering what you were going to do there.
if I saw this poster as I was scrolling through, it would intrigue me
Because it was
because I like the way it looks.
Netflix, hire me.
No,
I can do your thumbnails.
Because I like the
but
not
for a live
But then I would
action, not
read.
a
I would read. I'd be
rotoscope.
like, oh, it's a rotoscoped animation. I thought they were having Prince Caspian and Robbie.
Yeah. A live
You'd
action.
be let down that it was an animation.
And then
Well, the
I'd be
thing
like,
is,
oh,
though-
wait, no. Robbie Pat and Prince Caspian are playing these characters, but they're rotoscoped. I'd be like, all right, I'll watch
Let's
it.
try it out.
So you kind of come to the same synopsis. You
Kinda.
want it to be a
6.
live action.
So you want this story and this banner, this poster of the film banner to be live action. So
Not
points are
animation.
deducted because it's not as good of an
it's
animation.
not a great animation. It's a great live action.
All right. So let's keep in mind.
Yeah.
If I feel the same way about yours, I'm saying the same thing.
Okay.
I
That's
think
fine.
yours is next.
You want to say anything? Wait, you want to say anything about yours before we move to it?
So I had 2. I chose this one because I spent more time on this one, and Wyatt never saw it, and I never gave anything away to Wyatt, but I did hint.
You did hint
last
what the
night,
idea was.
and I said, I'm having a problem because a lot of posters have the main character, side character. You know, I don't feel like I can put a character on this poster and it be a good animated poster.
Okay.
So I opted out of that and did the best I could without giving any characters in the frame.
Yeah.
That will probably give me points deducted in my opinion.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ready to go to it?
This one should be Wyatt's.
No, it won't be.
Okay, yeah. So
It reminds me of Arthur.
okay.
All right,
The synopsis of this film is
Could you tell us the title? I don't know how to pronounce that.
Solano.
Solana?
Solana. Yeah, Solana.
Okay.
So it is a time traveling medieval show. I went with more of show. So very eerie kind of feeling here, but I was going with more like you thought they're going back in time and seeing this as something they went back in time to. This is kind of like the first episode. I'm going with more of a 3D animation that's more realism, very reminiscent of something that's very kind of it's animated, you can tell, but it's like it looks pretty real because it's very like almost like Gollum in Lord of the Rings, almost like I was basing it off Jabaro, the new Love, Death, and Robots.
A lot of mocap
show.
in that, yeah.
Yeah, but it's gonna be following like 3 characters that they live back in like the times of knights, and they are traveling through time, having adventures in time. They might go forward in time. They might be episodes back in time.
Okay.
And stuff like that. But,
so kind of like the time traveler's wife, but without a wife.
Yeah.
No.
But without a wife.
No. It's more. It's time traveling, but it's how I was thinking about this idea. I was thinking like I wanted it to be very sci-fi, cartoon-esque, but I didn't want it to be, and I almost kind of wanted it to be adult animation too, be very like kind of violent, but not in like a comedy sense, and not in a sense of I wanted each episode to be like them traveling in time this way, and not be like Rick and Morty is very sci-fi, but it's like it's got this timeline, it's got this and that, and it's not like that. It's more just linear, but it's got adventure in it, type thing.
Gotcha.
So we all went serious.
We all went
with our
serious.
cartoons.
Well, we don't know. I guess you went serious.
I went a more serious. My story is a more serious story.
Can I point out this? Since you went so harsh on mine,
I know probably what you're going to point out. Go ahead.
I would have blurred these patches of grasses that you added.
Yeah,
and I would have like with a faded edge would have erased the bottom of the stone because there looks like no grass.
The
peeking up
stone
on
isn't. It's not the stone for me. It's the tree.
It's the tree.
That
hard
tree
cut off.
specifically.
I did not notice that. I did notice some of
They
this.
all have
That's
hard
why
cutoffs.
I was trying to.
I guess this is a part of the picture.
Is this hand drawn grass?
So
you drew this grass?
just Josh for just hours.
I did not draw it, but everything in here is separate. I pieced it all together.
Yeah.
I can see where you pieced it. I can see where you pieced 2 trees here. Did you take a tree and place it on top of this tree?
Yes.
Yeah, see, you can see it. So this is like lower quality.
No.
That's one tree.
That's one tree.
This tree over
What
here
is this line right here?
No, it's
this line.
This tree over here is
It's
the
just
same.
shading.
Yeah.
Shading.
The moss is on the north side or something
I mean,
like that.
no. But I was trying to build a forest with just trees, grass as separate things.
Because you had to.
I put all this together.
Yeah.
So here's the interesting thing that I've noticed about your posters across the board.
Yeah.
You design like someone was there taking a picture of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Compare it to this, where this is a graphic design of telling a story without telling the story with multiple elements. Yours is like someone was there taking a picture in the forest with a sword and a rock. Yeah. You know what I mean?
My biggest critique would really only because I like the way it kind of goes off into the distance. I think of that when I think of like
that's what I was going with.
When I think of the forests, like the old forests of England, I would have and I don't know how I would have done this, but I would have tried to make the fog look like it was lower to the ground.
Okay.
And I don't know if you cut off the fog sort of at the tree line and make the trees more green, I would have. I don't know. Well, it's hard. It's tough.
I didn't make it as low to the ground as you probably wanted.
Good choice on this graphically. I don't know if I'm guessing you intentionally did this.
Yeah.
The trees closest to us have more contrast than the tree in the back.
Yep.
But I guess I feel that the trees in the background kind of match the fog in the foreground.
Yeah.
And that's, if the trees in the background didn't match, like
the fog
up at the
should
tops,
be here.
If they were a different kind of shade, I guess.
Damn, I just realized the trees behind.
It's clipping through. I didn't even notice that.
Sometimes you got to blow it up to see the problems.
But I like that you always go with a simplicity kind of look. Like Joseph said, like you're taking a picture.
Let me tell you this.
I like it.
It doesn't have to be in the future. It doesn't always have to be graphic design. I would rather you go out in the forest, get a fake rock, get a sword, put the thing in there, and then take a picture of it, and then put a title on the picture.
No, that's
I would rather that.
That's
It's still a poster.
No, because I took all animated pieces. None of this is live action.
You could put the exact same amount of time. Put the exact same amount of time into taking and crafting a beautiful picture. Get a fog machine out there.
No, I would prefer that because he had to find assets. I would rather for an animation thing. I would rather him go on the internet and find assets.
Okay, for animation. If you do a live action story,
for live action, I don't want to see this.
I would say spent probably about 3 hours putting this together.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did come up with a second poster that was totally different from this.
Same title.
I almost want to throw it in here, but I did not send it to you.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. You can post it on Instagram after you post the 3 of ours. Be like, and this was my extra one. You know.
Yeah.
I give this a 5. Because there are serious design issues in here.
Yeah.
Like the hard cutoff.
Yep.
And the no grass blending.
Yep.
I'm not going to say it's terrible because I think composition-wise, you did a great job.
Yep.
I think the sword and the stone is placed where it needs to be on the frame. The trees have leading lines of sorts. At least leads your eye to where the focus is, which is right here.
Does this critique my picture?
So I would rate yours probably the same. What did you rate it? A 6?
I rated his as a 6. Yeah.
I would probably rate yours a 6.5.
Mine over his?
No, his. Oh. A 6.5. I would rate yours, and I'm doing this. I want to be generous because I like.
You like what he's going for?
If you didn't see the cutoff, so here, what you do? Look back, blur your eyes.
It works.
It works, right? If you blur your eyes and you don't see the cutoff parts,
it works.
So I really like it when
I should have blended.
When I blur my eyes and look at this photo, I really like it. I can still see everything, and the composition
I would have enjoyed
is really great.
A tad bit more color, even just a little bit, because this is dang near black and white.
That's what I was going for. I took out the saturation.
He said a 5. I'll give it a 6.
Well, it's not that I don't think that the lack of color fits with the story. It's that you've brought like 2 other posters to the podcast with a similar. Like bring a poster that's vibrant and exciting.
My other poster was that. I went totally different from this, and that's why. But I picked this one because I spent more time on it. This is what I was going for. I wanted it to be eerie, feeling foggy, like travelers come back in time and they come to the Sword and the Stone story, but yet it's like they come back and it's like eerie, and it's not when Arthur pulls the sword. It's not during the good time. It's during
the bad time.
It's still in the stone. It's still, it's got an eerie feel to it.
I like that.
I think Wyatt's right. When you squint your eyes
So my biggest flaw, I
Squint your eyes,
I
it
did
works.
not blend it.
But my rating holds.
Before we move to mine,
What did you rate yours? Sorry.
6.
You
You said
rated
a
a
5,
6.
I said a 6.
Okay.
Because I like the way it looks blurred.
All right.
Before we move to mine, I'd like to preface this with I took inspiration from Studio Ghibli.
Okay.
Studio Ghibli is known for like their landscape stuff. I am not known for my landscape stuff. I spent a week trying to draw landscape stuff.
You want to know what you are known for? Memes.
Memes. There's no memes in this.
Oh, sad.
That
That dinosaur one you did a while ago.
So the inspiration is Studio Ghibli-esque. And I'm not a Studio Ghibli artist.
Okay.
So that's my preface.
Okay. That's the only thing you want to say? You're going to tell a story when we see the poster.
I'll tell the story when we see the poster.
All right, here we go.
This is mine.
Oh, wow.
So take it all in. Take it all in. Just,
Wait.
my biggest thing here was like detail. Right? I really wanted there to be like, because I went back and I looked at it. I was like, the eyes are flat. How do I make the eyes less flat?
No, I got no problem with this. No, it all looks good.
So the background I want to talk about. Well, actually, you know what? Let me give the story before we start
go with story,
critiquing.
and then I'll say what I think of this.
I'm
Sorry. Go ahead.
gonna give you the story. So I wrote out my story, so I'm just gonna read it off for you guys. This is what I wrote. I didn't like go through and edit this. I just wrote it down and then I forgot about it.
Okay.
So, on the heels of a new age of clean energy and peace, humanity is suddenly beset by ancient creatures of myth. Dragons emerging from the earth wreak havoc upon the surface. The recent advances in military technology aid in defending against the creatures, but the increasing loss of life bodes ill for the humans. However, hope is rekindled with the appearance of the Furies, mysterious warriors wielding weapons of starlight flame against the dragon's hellfire. Contentions arise, chaos erupts, and ash falls in the clash of heaven and earth.
Sick. I think, so you gave me a preview like a week ago. Of the dragon's rib cage.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I said it looks like something straight out of hell, and your eyes lit up.
Yeah.
Because you were like, exactly what I'm going for.
So I was going to actually write down the main character storyline, how he acquires the flame that he carries and what the Furies are exactly. But I just kind of wanted to do an outside view of the story.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Are you trying to base this like a snake? Because that kind of looks like a snake's stomach.
So I thought about dragons, and in the story, there's a multitude of kinds of dragons. They're all, each and every one is different. There's no two dragons that are the same. And I thought,
like, is this like a dragon? No two snowflakes are the same?
Yeah, so I thought dragons, I like the way wyverns look. They have the back legs, Smaug. So think Smaug is a wyvern. He's not a drake. He's a wyvern.
Okay.
So he's got wings are his front arms and two back legs.
Yeah.
I thought wyverns are cool, but a wyvern with like a snake body.
Sick.
For this specific dragon.
Does he not have back legs?
No, he's got a snake
Just
body.
a snake body with arms.
Sort of snake body, yeah.
Awesome. Kind of sluggish. Like sluggish.
He's not very
thick.
long.
Yeah.
If I had more time, I would have made him more long.
I like the way he is.
The grass is hand drawn.
Nuh-uh.
I hand drew the grass. Everything
The grass is good.
Everything is hand drawn, except for
This.
the background, his hair, his hands, and the majority of his legs.
You know, I can see a little bit of discoloration on his hands.
That's on purpose, actually. The closer his hand gets to the sword, the whiter it gets.
Okay.
It takes on a bright white.
Oh, I see the light going down his arm.
That's That's actually reflection from the light of the sword.
That's what I'm saying. You see the reflection. Okay, the details here, Joshua.
Pretty solid.
The details here are strong.
That was my biggest thing, because that leg is bent.
No, not just
that
bent.
leg is bent a little bit.
This is classic anime.
Yeah,
where like you have a ruffled one side of you. You know what I mean? And the difference in feet and like the pant leg.
I wanted to get like the like as he's rising in the air, there's like the wind is billowing his shirt up.
You got it.
So the background I do want to talk about. I initially tried to draw a background. This is a computer generated background.
Oh, okay.
I typed in cities and a city in a valley. And so I got sort of an impression of buildings over here, an impression of a skyline. I created the sort of, I wanted to create fire. I drew the fire. I drew all the smoke. And I edited the background so it looked more of like a evening. But you still get the impression of buildings and city.
Yeah.
And that's and the sunset is really what I want.
And obviously the fire.
Yeah.
I will say this, okay. I'm going to point out the negatives.
Yes.
I'm going to give you, before I say it though, I am going to rate this high.
Also, the teeth are not, like I used reference for the teeth.
Okay.
That's the only other thing.
Don't care for the background.
Yeah.
I don't either.
That's what you said. I would have capitalized O and the A.
No.
Like design wise, yes.
I tried.
Okay,
I did originally.
Maybe not the A. The O needs to be capitalized.
I originally capitalized the O, and it didn't look like a word. It did not look like...
The O needs capitalized.
It looked like something that wasn't a word, and the big things in the title are heaven and earth. I will say I did originally capitalize the O, and I didn't like it.
This is what I would say then. Play with it. Make the whole thing caps. The whole thing. I'm telling you, graphically, the first thing, when I look at the title, the first thing my mind says is, don't like that of. That of is out of place.
No,
yes.
I'm fine with it.
Okay. I know what I'm talking about. This is my personal preference. Don't like the background. Don't like the of. Everything else I'm very happy with.
So
the city background. The sky is awesome.
Does the city background, because the big part of the thing is that the dragons are appearing around major cities.
Yes.
No, yeah.
So that's
the city and the buildings are convincing.
That's the impression I'm trying to get.
They just don't fit as well.
To be honest, like
this
what I'm getting, I do see city and I do see like, but I almost see like, if I was gonna take this poster and just take it for what it is, I would see like the slums, like somewhere that's you know not like poor area here.
Yeah.
And then I would see city in the background. What I don't really care for, I have no problem with of heaven and earth. That's
yeah.
You know. But no, what I don't care for is I don't know if you were making it. I wish it was the whole thing. I don't like this.
So,
I don't know. That was a design choice that you were going with.
Yeah.
The only thing it makes me feel like is it's almost like he's going into this, like.
I feel like that's Princess Mononoke inspired, is it?
It's almost like he's going into this
all
world.
Studio Ghibli. And so Studio Ghibli has a lot of the kind of almost as if you were entering a storybook look.
That's what I feel.
So I wanted the edges to look like a
storybook.
A story. Well, like this is written on something.
Yeah, it's almost like you're going into this world.
And I originally, his feet were also, they blended also with the edge here.
Outside of the edge so that it looked like he was entering into it.
So it almost looks like someone's going into the upside down.
Yeah, so it blended originally, right? His foot would fade into the kind of the brownish of this paper. And then I looked at that and I thought, it kind of just doesn't look right. And so I got his foot to look like independent. I got him to look independent. And I tried to get the wing of the dragon to look independent, but it didn't work.
Yeah.
And so I get what you're saying. Like, it looks like he's moving into a storybook.
And
I almost want the whole photo to just be there though.
And I cut out the whole photo because there was too much city.
Yeah.
There's too much city down here. I do have a big question. Does it feel like his wings are red, or does it feel like that's the light coming through the membrane?
That feels like the light's coming through.
It looks solid.
Because I've looked at it for so long.
Nope.
I don't know if it's...
That looks beautiful. It looks like thin skin.
Can you see the veins?
I can see the veins, clearly. The veins it's a good detail.
I spent a lot of time
This
on
is
the
why
dragon.
I said, I literally told you, I'm going to rate this high. My issue is the city, which you're insecure about, and the of.
Yeah.
And I stand by the of. I would have done about 20 more minutes on the font choices and design for the title.
I won't lie, the font by itself of going through and doing that took about 40 minutes.
I like the line. The line is a good choice.
That's very Studio Ghibli. That's very Ghibli.
The line is a good choice, especially for the rest of the picture. The font choices and like the capitalization choices and stuff, I would have thought through more. I'm going to rate this an 8. This is very good. Even if it's just the dragon, him, the sword, and the sky, 8.
Yeah, it's
other.
solid.
I mean, this is the clear winner.
I
I'm gonna
tried
give
to
it
cut out the city, honestly.
What did I give you, 6?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give it a 7 because it is better than, I feel like you put a lot of personal work in here, and there's a lot of good things. There's a lot of few things I don't care for, but it's solid. 7. I'll give it 7.
Thank you.
8.
I appreciate it.
Wyatt's the clear winner amongst us. Just a real quick refresher. So you have banner.
Our color schemes
Similar.
between me and you
And we both have villains rising from the earth.
So actually, this story is one I came up with not several, but 2 years ago, like when COVID started. Because I thought, the COVID thing is so weird and scary, and you hear about it in like far off, like Los Angeles or something. There's cases there, and then the next day you hear about cases in your hometown, like. And then I thought, imagine if that was like dragons. Would people be reacting the same? If you heard of like dragons, but the military's kind of on top of it, but they are appearing, and then one appears in your town, you know?
Yeah.
That was kind of the original inspiration for the story.
So I think Wyatt's the winner. Go to Instagram. I want to hear your guys' votes. I'm going to put up a poll since we now have the community tab on the studio channel. If you are subscribed to the Wiseworks Studio channel, I'm going to put up a poll and say, which one do you like better? All right.
Before or after the video?
After the video.
Okay.
After this is out, we've already promoted it in the community tab on the studio channel. Then we'll put up a poll. Which poster do you like better? I think between the three of us, based on our rating, we like Wyatt's the best. I think Wyatt takes the cake on this one. I think your animation style was the good direction. You just need a solid background artist to come alongside you and nudge you in the right direction.
Half of the, like I said in the pre-show, that this, if you look at the QuickTime kind of show that the app that I use shows, and it like really super quickly goes through all of the motions that I make. It's like a 20-minute long video. Just the background stuff of me working on different backgrounds is like a solid 5-7 minutes of the video.
Never happy with it.
Me trying to go through and then editing this one to be like, all right, it's background. It's background. He's on a hill. That's in the distance. The dragon is much closer.
Yeah. I think it works. The good thing about this is that these buildings, if the whole town felt this style, it would have worked.
Oh yeah.
But just the contrast of like the blurred, etched details of the city mixed with these beautiful, like just skyscraper shapes.
I would have liked
It would have worked
yeah.
better if we had that feel across the whole thing. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah.
But then also, where are you going to get just a grassy knoll like this in a city of beautiful skyscrapers?
The grassy knoll is the focus along with him.
Yeah,
so we
but-
would see the details in the grass. In the distance, we wouldn't.
Yeah. Well,
You know
I
what I mean?
tried to get more. I really tried to get the distance. That all the city stuff is supposed to be much farther in the distance than it looks here.
Yeah.
Which is in the original
Look.
photo, you can kind of see that
Look.
better.
You did good. You've taken the cake.
I worked like a lot.
You worked
on
hard.
this
I need to know the story. I gotta know the story.
for the WGW.
Yes.
So I did this also on the film noir posters.
Okay.
A WGW production.
I didn't see it.
It was in the top corner.
I don't remember it, but you might have
It's
seen
because when I was looking at those pictures, it always said an MGM production. And I thought, we're Wisener, Goforth, Wisener. And I thought if you just flip MGM upside down, it's WGW. And so it kind of worked for that. And then I thought, in a lot of like animation cover art, they'll put the little logo for the studio.
Yeah.
And so I put the logo up there.
Sick.
That's it. That's also hand drawn.
Okay. I didn't add any logo to mine. All right. One last preview just for funsies. Banner. Solana. The heaven of heaven and earth.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. Good work, guys. Great work. We have one more thing, and this is one of the reasons people clicked on the video probably. We're going to give a review of The Secrets of Dumbledore. About a 10-minute review, I would say. Not too long. Let's get into it. So The Secrets of Dumbledore. Comparatively to Fantastic Beasts, the first one, comparatively to the
Didn't have Johnny
Crimes of Grindelwald,
Didn't have Johnny Depp.
didn't have Johnny Depp.
No Johnny. No Johnny.
What do you guys initially
Is
think? What do you
Johnny-
think? What do you think? What do you think?
Confusing.
First
Confusing
thought.
is
Bad.
confusing.
Bad
Super
movie.
confusing.
Dumb
I feel
movie.
like there was like 2 weeks of my life, everything I watched, I was confused about. And that was this. A good chunk into it that we get kind of this group together and they're like, this is what we're gonna do. And it's like, oh, okay, I see where the movie's gonna go. It's them, and then it's like, nope. This is what's happening. And it's like, I'm confused.
Wait.
What's going on?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I think I remember asking Wyatt, I'm like, what can you explain this to me? Because I'm confused.
So I'd like to point out, they take characters and retroactively make them more dumb.
What do
So
you mean
you
by
take-
more dumb?
So you take Jake,
Okay.
and who is this charismatic, fun Muggle character.
Mm-hmm.
And in this movie, what does he do? Nothing.
He tries to assassinate Grindelwald.
No, he doesn't.
No,
He does. He's a setup
got
as a
the wand,
He's set
but
up,
I don't
that's
even
it.
remember what he did.
He does
with the
nothing.
wand.
Okay.
And even when they could have totally, they were gearing up, right? It felt
Mhm.
like when they were talking about the chillin', it was gearing up to be like, oh, it bows to him. Wouldn't that be crazy if the chillin'
Yeah.
bowed to him, a
Jake,
Muggle,
Yeah.
a Muggle,
Yep.
right?
That'd be an interesting story.
That's where I thought it was going. He did nothing.
Nope.
The woman he loves, Queenie,
Yep.
she did nothing. Absolutely
No,
nothing.
she came back to him. That's what she did.
That she did
She
nothing.
came back to him.
Her entire
Man.
character was based
Wow.
on her relationship
A
with
woman comes back to a man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
dude.
him.
That classic patriarchy.
This woman, she was new to the movie.
Yeah.
Should I pull up the cast
She
list?
did a whole bunch of stuff, but also nothing. Newt's brother,
He did something. He got arrested.
he got
helped him.
he got arrested and did nothing. What's his name?
Grindelwald, Dumbledore's brother.
Dumbledore's brother did more than a lot of the other characters somehow, even though he was in it like the least. And what's his name? Kama
I don't know.
did nothing.
No.
You're right. I'm sorry. He infiltrated
to switcheroo.
He infiltrated Grindelwald's gang so that he could knock down 4 dudes. At the end.
Yeah.
He did nothing.
So, as confusing and as nothing happened in the movie, I will say this. Wyatt was complaining before we put on this movie. He said, we'd never get good magic fights. He's like, all we get is Expelliarmus, and then one little shock. And it's not great.
Yeah.
And then there was
lots of magic.
There was
lots
a lot
of really good
magic fights between Dumbledore and that kid.
Credence and Dumbledore.
I feel like I could have enjoyed if I knew what was happening.
Yes. See,
if I was confused. If I knew what was going. Also, people were like, the one thing I wasn't confused about, which everybody seems to be confused about on the internet and every review I've watched, is that like Grindelwald cuts the throat of the Chillin, lets it bleed out, and then gets like the power to see the future. It's like, no, from the beginning, even in the books, it said that Grindelwald was a seer, like the lady professor. He's a seer. He can see the future.
Yeah.
And he
has visions.
He was just seeing the future in the blood of the Chillin. Everybody was like, he kills it, and now he can see the future.
Yeah.
But that's not, he was a seer always. I wasn't confused. That was the one thing I was like, I get this.
I get it. What do you think that in some ways, like, Fantastic Beasts as a show, as a series, okay? Because it's kind of a series. They're going to make more Fantastic Beasts after this.
No, not after this.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
I think
they're done after this.
I don't think so. I think Warner Brothers is going to keep pumping them out the same way they did Harry Potter. All right?
Yeah, Harry Potter did well, and people liked them.
And people liked Harry Potter.
This is doing increasingly worse, and people like it less.
Do you think that to enjoy this, similar to Harry Potter, not only do you have to pay attention to the details of the conversation, but you also have to have read the books?
No.
No?
I don't think you should have to read the books to understand a movie.
I'm going to be honest.
I watched
Harry Potter's a little bit like that.
I watched all of Harry Potter.
I
watched all of Harry Potter, and I was
I
was in it 100%, and I had never read the books. I don't think you should have to read the books.
Yeah.
The fact that I couldn't keep up with what was going on, and I can usually keep up.
Okay.
When it comes to movies, if usually I can follow the story, even if it's kind of convoluted. I didn't know what was happening in this entire movie.
Some might say that even in court, Johnny Depp did more for this movie than Jude Law or Mads Mikkelsen.
I would say that.
Could be.
Yeah,
could be.
Johnny Depp might have done more than this film's entire cast.
Yeah, so the switch from Johnny Depp to Mads Mikkelsen.
Did it fall short? Could it have worked if it was written better?
They number one, they wrote Grindelwald badly.
From the start?
From the start, in my opinion.
Yeah.
With Johnny Depp too?
Even with Johnny Depp.
Okay.
And because both Johnny and Mads Mikkelsen, they're incredible actors. It didn't. The biggest thing for me is for him to the character design. They went way too wacky with this Grindelwald.
Johnny Depp's?
This is the Grindelwald I saw in my head when I read the books. Not that Grindelwald. Right?
Well, this Grindelwald had to fall in love with Dumbledore, and this one...
I couldn't see that Grindelwald being in love with Dumbledore for some reason.
Yeah.
And I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to give him a unique look like Voldemort.
Yeah.
And they were like, all right, let's just scrap that and go with Mads Mikkelsen. And
Just
we'll just
straight
make
Mads.
him be Mads.
Just Mads.
Also, he did basically nothing in this movie. He killed the Chillin.
Yeah.
And then he made it bow to
Chillin.
him. And then he fought Dumbledore.
He got mad at Credence one time.
He did get mad at Credence that one. That just...
He brought the Chillin back to life.
But also the battle between Dumbledore and Credence and the battle between Dumbledore and Grindelwald.
Yes.
They happen in a in the mirror dimension where there are no stakes.
Oh, that's an interesting point.
There are no stakes. If they were battling around like all the other wizards and stuff, I would have been scared. I would have been invested. But no, they're battling in the fog dimension where there's nothing that they hit with their wands or anything makes any real difference.
But isn't that also because of the curse?
He did it with Credence.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you mean the fight with Credence and Dumbledore?
With Credence and Dumbledore and with Mads and Dumbledore.
I will say this. This is my opinion. You've said a lot.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry.
My opinion is I don't think it's a great movie. At the same time, I don't think it's worse than the other two.
I could follow.
I could follow the other two.
Well, you've been talking to Wyatt for too long.
No. I said this. This before.
I'm going to say this.
Talk to you.
I'm going to say this. All three are a bit convoluted to follow.
The first one is so simple.
Yeah. The second one a little more.
The
confusing.
second one is
I'm
more
not
convoluted.
saying this is a good film.
Wait, you're repeating what I'm saying.
It's not truth. It's not worse than the first or second.
It's definitely worse than the first.
It might be not as like whimsical as the first, but it's not worse of a movie than the first.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
Yeah, it is. The not the acting, not the storytelling, not the pacing. None of it are as good as the first one. The first one didn't feel like a long movie. It felt like they got from point A to point B quickly, and it felt like you understood all the characters.
Yeah. Okay.
It was simple.
I want to touch on a few good things though. There was some good things. There was a few good things. Like I said, there was a few good fights.
Go back. Get off them.
There was a few.
Get off them.
Get off them. Go back.
This is my favorite bit of the film.
Go back. Oh.
Them escaping from prison was my favorite part of the film.
Oh yeah. He is a beast guy. He does wacky beast things. They forgot about that in this movie, and so they had to.
Shut up. That was hilarious. Okay.
I would have liked
when
it if
he
there
says
were more
in his little proper
magical
British,
beasts.
"You're not swiveling properly." That made me laugh out loud.
Eddie Redmayne as this character is still fantastic.
The silliness of this scene is just so wonderful. I love silly. I love silly.
And I would have loved it more if I knew what was happening.
Two brothers escaping from prison in a silly way.
That's amazing.
It's funny.
I was confused.
What were you saying? You want to go to this side?
We were talking about the best things in this movie. I love him as a character.
Yeah,
and Jude Law.
Jude Law was a good.
Jude Law
Dumbledore
kills gay Dumbledore.
Yeah,
we've seen not openly gay Dumbledore in the past
for years.
He kills young gay Dumbledore.
Okay,
like I'm being flamboyant about the gay part. No pun intended.
Well, this is the first film where they're like, yes.
Yeah, he's very
Dumbledore is very clearly gay at this point.
But just that aside, him playing young Dumbledore, Jude Law has such a presence.
The last shot, or I don't know if it was the last shot.
Yeah, it was like the last shot.
When they're all inside and he's just sitting outside, that felt very good in the presence of Dumbledore. It was like, okay, yeah, he's watching, but he's got this presence of just, I don't know.
He's watching over the children.
He's watching, it's just felt very Dumbledore-esque, but
Jude
also
Law
he's great at giving that presence.
He's lonely and he's powerful.
Yeah.
That was
he's
very
got a
good.
responsibility with his power, and he's lonely. That's what it felt. It felt good.
He did an amazing job as this character, and unfortunately, they wrote his character very well, and they wrote Grindelwald very bad. Yeah. So he was doing all the heavy lifting, and I wish we had seen some of that emotion for their relationship on Mads Mikkelsen's.
Mads could have held it up.
Well, like Grindelwald, I would have liked to see some emotion from him.
I have a question, Jacob. I was asking, didn't he get fat? Did he get fat for this role? Because he was fat in the first one. He got skinny for The Walking Dead. Like, he lost a bunch of weight.
Okay.
He was, like, pretty skinny. And now he's in this movie again. I think he got fat for this role.
Yeah, he was, because he was skinny in The Walking Dead.
I gotta Google it.
Skinny.
I gotta Google it.
Just,
Cast of
Fantastic Beasts.
Secrets.
Just Fantastic Beasts.
Dumbledore. I don't know his name. His name is
Dan.
See
Fogler.
right there,
Fogler.
that's him.
Dan
him
Fogler
in The Walking Dead. That's him in The Walking Dead.
Okay.
There's a picture
Walking.
right there.
Where? Right
Just
here?
right there. No.
Right here.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's not him in The Walking Dead. That's
It's
him
a
at
picture
some kind of red
that-
carpet.
of
At
that
the red
time.
carpet of.
Okay,
yeah.
so
The
yeah,
Walking Dead.
he lost weight. Here's a good shot of his face.
Look at it's the
See
face
this?
fat.
Go to this one. Go to this one. This is full body. Full body. Full body radio.
But he's also wearing a blazer. It can hide it.
No, go back. Like,
No,
look at this
clearly-
picture right
Comparatively to
beside
here?
that picture. Right beside
or
that
this
Compared
picture.
to this one?
Yeah. Jeez.
Okay, yeah. There's a big difference there.
I mean, this is like me before this year, me this year.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Well,
but
maybe I'm being
No.
extreme.
The
I
real-
didn't look
yeah.
like that before this
Okay.
year. I didn't,
Look,
real
transformation
question-
right there.
Okay.
Doo-doo-doo.
right here.
Yes.
But the real question is, did he gain the weight back for the Secrets of Dumbledore?
Yes, that
Yeah.
was the question.
yeah, because
I don't know. Comment
I don't
down
know.
below.
It's weird.
Comment.
The timeline is. It's hard to kind of suss out the timelines.
Okay,
for
how about
They
this?
also, I will say this, they could have done, because of COVID and everything, they might have filmed this back in 2019.
Yeah, that's
and
possible.
COVID happened, so they had to postpone it.
Yeah,
and-
and he's skinny for The Walking Dead,
Skinny.
even though it came out before this.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Hold on, I'm just Googling it to see if there's
That,
an answer.
that could be.
All right, Fantastic Beasts. Did Dan Fogler lose 100 pounds for the sake of his
His daughter.
Two daughters.
daughters? No, we don't need to know why he lost weight.
I would say.
How did Dan Fogler lose weight? The Fantastic Beasts. Why fans thought Fantastic Beasts star Dan Fogler weight? Maybe this. Weight loss wasn't as positive as it seemed. No.
Oh no.
No,
I would say probably the theory of a good chunk of this movie was filmed.
Before
Probably most of
COVID.
this movie was filmed during like COVID time versus
Uh-huh.
when he filmed The Walking Dead. Even and The Walking Dead came out before
yeah.
this movie because it's a show.
I mean, I have not watched. I went back and watched The Walking Dead. That's how I realized he was in it.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been watching the
Okay.
second from last season, and not even the last
Filming
season.
for the
and he's
Secrets of
skinny in that.
Check this out. Filming took place until February 21st. Sorry guys, I have a email. Until February 2021, Secrets of Dumbledore premiered in London. So, February 2021, he was still fat. Okay, for the role. Now, what
I-
season in The Walking Dead was he?
He was in a couple of them. I
Was
think.
Walking Dead. What's the most recent? What was the season he was skinny in?
He was. I'm watching season
When was he
10 right
introduced
now, I
as,
think.
as
Probably it was
skinny?
probably around season 10. I don't think he
9
was
or
in
10.
9.
Yeah. No, at 9. He might have been 9. I can't really remember when he got introduced.
Because if this was filmed May 2019,
Yep.
now are you sure he was in season
Yes,
10?
That's the one I'm doing.
And he's in there. Okay. That means he gained the weight back. He gained the weight back because they
Yeah.
filmed Secrets of Dumbledore in 2021
Mm-hmm.
and Walking Dead season 10 was filmed in 2019. So that means he gained the weight back. Does that mean he's fat now and he's losing the weight currently?
He didn't look in Secrets of Dumbledore. He didn't look very fat. It almost looked like he put on weight to maintain the look of the character.
Yeah.
As a baker, as Jacob, you know.
But I don't know.
Yeah, we're going into this small detail. It's a big detail, gaining weight, but
And who does he play?
he just plays this side character.
The side
kinda.
character?
I mean, he's pretty big in the role, but he's not like one of the main people. He's not
Yeah,
one of the
I'm trying to
original
see if there's a
cast.
behind the scenes picture of him from season 10.
So he's not
There
like
he is.
super skinny in that season.
Wow, the picture somehow got smaller up there. You clicked it. It's big down here. It's smaller up there.
when you select it.
Scroll up. I saw
Impressive.
You
cast
saw another
photo.
one?
Up.
Just as we're searching through here, everybody, if you don't watch the video version on Spotify
Yeah,
or
you're missing
YouTube,
out.
sometimes you miss out, especially
that.
with the posters.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think he's
That
in
one?
there.
No.
Nope.
He's not in there. Okay.
I thought he was hiding.
Look, we have a rough answer,
idea.
All right.
Yeah.
It seems as though, let us know if we're incorrect. He got skinny and then got a little chubbier, at least a little chubbier.
Yep.
For the Secrets of Dumbledore, and might be, if he hasn't already lost the weight, currently losing the weight again. Maybe. Because he was skinny in The Walking Dead.
Fat skinny.
Let's get back to the Secrets of Dumbledore and let's give some final thoughts, okay?
1 out of 10.
Oh, I would before I rate it, at least I would say probably one of my biggest things was, the relationship between Dumbledore and Grindelwald is basically the only thing in the movie that makes sense.
Okay.
It's the only through line.
It's because they had to establish
it's
Dumbledore's
the only
gay.
through line that makes sense for the story. And for that relationship, we have Dumbledore being showing genuine emotion and Grindelwald being a hard ass the entire time. And I wish if they were going to make me invested in the relationship, at the end, if Grindelwald had shown some emotion towards Dumbledore.
Yeah, he showed almost none.
If he'd have said something like, I thought we were in this together. I thought that, you loved me and I thought we were going to do this together. I would have liked to see that for the relationship to feel real.
I hear you.
But he and it would have been nice because it's like, oh, he's been putting on this hard face the whole time. Like he doesn't love him. But in the end, he did.
In the end,
and he's just. It's been an act of.
It's been tough. It's tough out there on the streets.
It really is. But that's the biggest thing I would have liked to see. Also, a little bit more.
I agree with you there. I would have liked to see some reciprocated emotion from Grindelwald
as a primary storyline in the story in the movie. That's they make it such a big part of the story. That I'd have liked a little bit more story to it, a little bit more depth.
Rate it, Joshua. 1 out of 10.
I'm gonna give it a 4 because I was confused. 3.8.
Okay.
I was confused the whole movie. The only thing I understood was Dumbledore was gay, and that's all I got out of the movie. They made that pretty.
Kidding. That was they made that very clear.
I was like, Jacob's got a wand. I was like, has he done anything with the wand? And
does it got preloaded spells?
And I was preloaded.
Like, what that's what I thought. I was like, preloaded spells.
What does that mean? And then we get through the movie, and I was like, and then I to this day don't know if he used the wand. I genuinely am serious because I asked Wyatt. I was like, did he even use the wand?
Or was it the lady who activated it? Don't even remember her name.
I don't remember if Jacob used the wand, and that's what I was curious about.
All right, I'm giving it a 4. I give all of these a 4. Okay, all 3 of the films a 4.
The first one was better. I would give the first one more.
You are underselling the first one.
I will secede that the Harry Potter series is a lot better than this, but I will not secede, in my opinion, that this and the second one and the first one are on the same level of quality of film. Okay? And if you come to it with that expectation, you kind of enjoy this one.
I'll give it to you. You're wrong. You're wrong about this and the first movie being on the same level.
Okay.
You're wrong.
Okay, I get you.
But you're allowed to have your opinion.
Yeah, and you're allowed to have yours. Some gun.
Bunty, his assistant, did more than any of the characters.
Okay, look, give us a rating.
We got
give
your
us
thoughts.
A rating.
What do you rate it?
It's a 3. It's a 2.5.
It's a 2.5. Oh, this might make it to the terrible tiers.
I said 3 because
this absolutely. If this had been a 20, if this had been a
2021
movie, it'd been on the terrible tier.
They filmed it in 2021. That's our review. Not a lot of positive thoughts. I really liked the moments with, the two brothers. Two brothers escaping from prison.
Okay, if I was genuinely going to take anything from this film, I want not a Fantastic Beast movie. I want a Dumbledore movie played by Jude Law that is not confusing, not very straightforward, not all of this fluff, not all this magic stuff. I just want him teaching at the school. That's what I want. I want a film
It's a drama piece.
with
like a Downton Abbey with
not
Dumbledore.
Drama. It can have a little bit of magic, but like make it very
like a Downton Abbey with Dumbledore.
make it a Harry Potter movie at the school, but from Jude Law's perspective as Dumbledore.
Yeah,
that
like
would be a
Grindelwald
fun
is
film.
out there doing stuff, and he's at the school.
That would be a fun film.
I
That's what I want to see.
We got to get off this.
I don't know. Yeah, there's too much. There's too much about this movie.
That's fine. And we got the point across where, our different opinions, but ultimately, like, this isn't an incredible film. We're all under 5 on the rating, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I'm at a 4. You guys are at 3s and 2.5.
But you're right. It should have been. This should have been the Dumbledore story, not the. Because it's like, oh crap, this is about Dumbledore. We got to sneak those Fantastic Beasts in there. Really kind of sneak them in.
Because everyone loves Newt. And his briefcase.
I got no problem with Newt. It's just
and his briefcase.
I didn't want Dumbledore. I wanted Dumbledore story, not a Newt
I wanted
story.
a Dumble story.
Newt story.
All right, look. We need to wrap this up, but before we go, I need to give you guys my animation pick that's going to be going on the list. We're probably going to mention this. We might do an entire episode dedicated to this season because it's about animation. I'm going to tell you, this is going to be a high contender at the end of the season for what's the best. All right? Arcane.
Arcane really set the bar high.
A story, a series on Netflix that they're coming out with a season
episodes?
2.
9.
They're coming out with a season 2 later on, and it's based
An
off the
hour and
League of
episode?
Legends.
40 minutes essentially.
It's based on the League. It's based on the League of Legends game.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't seen Arcane, high recommendations. Here's what I'm going to say. Wyatt told me it was incredible. His brother, Jamark, who's been on the Midnight Special in the past, told me this was incredible. I said, you tell me a lot of things are incredible. I don't know if I have time. Wyatt said, just give it a go.
Give it a giver.
On my phone, literally on my phone, I decided I'll watch the first episode. Watch the first one. I was like, interesting. Wonder what happens in the second episode. And then I watched the second episode, and I could not stop. Arcane is awesome. Arcane is the best animated thing that came out last year.
Because you're putting on the list.
You haven't seen it?
No, I'm not saying it's bad. No, I'm saying because you're putting on this list, the face is okay. I guess I'll watch it. That's the face I was making.
I think
here's the thing.
I'll watch it.
You're gonna enjoy it.
What the show does well. 9 episodes is the perfect way to do things. Give me about 40 minutes per episode. 9 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
That gives you a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Mm-hmm.
3 episodes each. 3 hours each.
Wonderful.
It's perfect.
And they're coming out with season 2. So excited.
When is it coming?
Don't know yet.
Oh.
It's probably online. I haven't looked it up.
This one set the bar for animation.
It did. And the thing is, it's really complex and at the same time simple.
Yeah.
And
I was
take notes.
I hadn't found a new animation thing that I liked, and this dropped, and I was like, all right, here it is.
Here it is.
The new thing.
So that's my selection for this week. Definitely, guys, at least watch the first 2 episodes of Arcane on Netflix.
I'd say first 3. I mean, it seems like a lot.
Once you watch the first 2, they're gonna want to watch.
Oh
the third.
yeah, but
and then once you watch the third, you're fully committed.
Right, because there's 3 episodes and then a time jump.
Yeah,
and
don't give it all away.
What happens in those 3 episodes is
crucial.
It's crucial.
Definitely watch Arcane. If you're not watching anything else this week, watch Arcane.
Yeah.
All right. I have a recommendation for you boys as we close this out.
If you say the time traveler's wife, I'm gonna hit you.
Yeah, but before I talk to you guys about Time Traveler's Wife, I wanted to tell you, remember Friday night audio platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, and others. Midnight Special, 10 p.m. Check it out Friday. Don't miss it. We're gonna be goofballs. Well, crap. Geeks and goofballs.
Yeah.
On the Midnight Special. Check it out. All right. For real, though.
Time Traveler's Wife.
You know, look, Time Traveler's Wife is such a good drama piece. Rose Leslie
I'm starting to read
is our
The Wheel of
finest.
Time.
She's our finest.
I got recommended it by someone at work.
Don't change the subject.
I'm starting to read a book rather than watch more shows. I want to do that.
Okay, hold on.
And not listen to audio. Actually,
Time Traveler's Wife's a book.
HBO Max, Time Traveler's Wife.
So you want me to be reading while I watch?
Why read when there's so much good new content? Time Traveler's Wife.
I am trying to read a book
on Netflix. Guess what just dropped?
Myself.
Guess what just dropped on Netflix? Season 6 of Peaky Blinders. It's really good so far. I swear. You guys are missing out on a lot of good shows.
I have watched a TV show, listened to a D&D campaign, and read a book all at the same time. You can do it.
You can do it.
I'm trying to get into how many books of Wheel of Time is there?
There's a lot.